Well, hi there. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the broadcast. You're watching EBN Prime Edition on this 5th day of September 2024. Thank you very much for your wonderful company tonight. We've got quite a lot in store that we've lined up for you. Let's take a look at stories making headlines first. Scars of gender-based violence. Ugandan marathoner Rebecca Cheptegei succumbs to injuries days after former lover dosed her in petrol. Acting Inspector General of Police Gilbert Masengeli defies court orders for the third time as he fails to appear for questioning following the disappearance of 3 people in Kitengela. 7 health unions threaten industrial action in 14 days if government fails to take action on their demands. Well, thank you very much for your wonderful company. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. EBN Prime Edition kicks off right now. Now, the ODM party, through its Secretary General Edwin Sifuna, has stamped the headline "Raila retires" on the Daily Nation newspaper, dated 5th September, as misinformation, registering their disapproval. In a press statement to newsrooms, the party denied announcing any exit plans or retirement of its party leader Raila Odinga from his position. The statement further goes on to term the story as a quote-unquote an absolute bad faith and intended to create despondency among party supporters while fanning pandemonium in ODM. As a requirement for the African Union Commission, its chairperson is not allowed to participate in local politics, but only serve on the continental scene. Now, 7 health unions have threatened to strike within the next 2 weeks if county governments fail to address their grievances, which include delayed payment of salaries, lack of medical covers, and failure to remit statutory deductions. The unions, in a joint statement read by the Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union Secretary General Dr. Davji Atela, outlined the challenges facing health workers nationwide. The other 6 were the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers, the Kenya National Union of Nurses and Midwives, the Kenya National Union of Medical Laboratory Officers, Kenya Environmental Health and Public Health Practitioners Union, the Kenya National Union of Pharmaceutical Technologists Officers, and the Kenya Union of Nutritionists and Dietitians.
We have seen that SACCO deductions have not been limited. We have seen bank loans have not been paid. And this has resulted into disillusionment among these particular members across these counties. And it is impossible, it is an injustice, it is immoral for the same counties to expect those particular workers to report to work when their deductions are not being remitted. Therefore today, with all the unions, we have decided to give the county government's demands and say that things will not continue as normal when the plights of the same people that are expected with the hospitals are ignored. On comprehensive medical cover, we demand that all the counties that do not have comprehensive medical cover to ensure that it is installed or procured within 14 days from today. On the counties that have not paid salaries for the months of June, the months of July, and the months of August, to do so in arrears within 14 days from today. We have also asked that all those counties that illegally have been withholding the statutory deduction for all the workers to remit the same within 14 days. Otherwise, today we are saying that all the health workers, that is the nurses, the doctors, the clinical officers, the lab technicians, the morticians, and everyone, the public health officers, will be out of work as they demand for the justice to be implemented, as they demand for these things to be implemented, as they demand for their monies that are illegally withheld to be released. This is the notice that we have given today, And we ask the counties to wake up and be accountable on this immediately. Thank you. Comrades, power!
Power!
Comrades, power!
Power!
Solidarity forever! Solidarity forever!
Still in the sector, Health Cabinet Secretary Deborah Baraza was before the Senate Committee on Health, having a consultative engagement on the tariffs to the Social Health Insurance Benefits Package. So far, as of 3rd September, 861,101 people have registered for the Social Health Authority, where stakeholders called for support in the implementation of the policy. The Social Health Insurance Fund was declared unconstitutional by the High Court and is currently before the Court of Appeal due to lack of proper public participation. CS Mulongo Baraza has expressed optimism that all is set for the rollout on 1st October this year.
As SHA is recruiting, SHA will make sure that there is enough quality assurance across our providers.
What happens if the household has exhausted their allocation and the patient or a member of the household still requires medical attention?
The MOH staff or the CHP staff that are going to be embedded, or is it the NHIF from SHA to, is it the NHIF staff to SHA?
At this time, we are really obliged, we are privileged to be part of the team that is actually going to support in rolling out of affordable, accessible, quality care for all Kenyans. So what I would kindly request is that we have this in mind because indeed we'll be serving Kenyans even as the Ministry of Health. I would also request that you go exhaustively and review, and if there are any challenges, then we can be able to take it up with the team so that we ensure that it is seamless transition and that all Kenyans can access our care.
The Acting Inspector General of Police, Gilbert Masengeli, has failed to appear in court as expected with regard to the allegation of disobeying court orders. The court was told that the acting IG was away for a workshop in Mombasa and could therefore not attend court session. This is the third time the acting IG has failed to present himself before the court as ordered. The court sought his audience so that he could explain why he should not be held in contempt of court over a missing persons case. On Tuesday, Justice Lawrence Mugambi said he will give him a chance to defend himself before stipulating the consequences of disobeying court orders.
That summon is based on two fundamental reasons. One, the IG has specific constitutional duties under the Constitution to preserve or to promote the security of persons in this country. So whether they have admitted that there's an arrest or not, the orders of this court must have force of the law because they derive from specific provisions of the Constitution that bestow on the IG and other security agencies the obligation to preserve security of persons in this country. Secondly, my Lord, we have placed before you evidence that these persons were abducted in relation to the protests that have been going on. And those abductions and arrests are done by agents and officers who are under the authority of the IG or the respondents who are cited in this matter.
Now, good news to police officers. And the National Police Service Commission on Thursday announced an increase in police officers' salaries that will see law enforcement officers earn more than they are currently taking home. Speaking at a press conference on Thursday, the Commission chairperson Eliud Kinuthia announced police constables are in line to receive a 4,000 Kenyan shillings hike from 21,645 shillings to 25,645. The increase follows consultations with the National Police Service, with the Acting Inspector General Police, Gilbert Masengeli, recommending promotions and an increase in salaries for his officers.
Has reviewed and increased the salary of police constable from a basic salary per month at entry. At entry, we mean a fresh constable who have just left college. From Kenya shilling 21,645 to 25,645. Constable will earn a minimum monthly gross salary. This is gross, including all allowances, of Kenya shilling 50,145 up to a maximum of Kenya shilling 69,640. Inspector General of National Police Service, Mr. Gilbert Masengeri, was asked by this commission to peruse the files of officers and identify those aged 53 to 59 years without any disciplinary faults and recommend them for promotion on merit.
The chairperson of the Council of Governors, Anne Waiguru, has warned the National Treasury against reducing the county funds, saying this will lead to disparity amongst the devolved units. The Kirinyaga County Governor says the counties will not take less than 400 billion shillings if at all they are to continue functioning without hiccups such as the workers' strike or shortage of drugs. The calls were reiterated by County Governor Muthomi Njuki, who said the county funds should not be reduced following introduction of policies such as the Social Health Insurance Fund.
Kwa sababu ya vile finance bill ilikuwa ilirudishwa, ile proposal tumepewa inapunguza zile pesa ambazo county zilikuwa nazo mwaka jana na bilioni 5. Yani wanatarajia kupatia county bilioni 380. Na ningependa kuhimiza ya kwamba tukifanya hivyo kutakuwa na huge problem of disparity in the counties. Yani county hazitaweza kutimiza ahadi zao kwa wananchi. Kwa sababu kama pesa za dawa zilikuwa zimetengwa alafu zikuwe zimepunguzwa, ni kuonekana ya kwamba dawa zile zitakuwa kwa county zitakuwa chini. Pia mishahara ya madaktari ilikuwa imeongezwa kwa sababu ya ile strike ambayo ilikuwa. Na sasa pesa za county zimerudi chini. Mimi ningeomba Senate na pia National Treasury waangalie ya kwamba the minimum that the counties should receive should not go below what they had in the year 2023-2024. And indeed beyond that, the bottom line, it should be at the 400 billion ambayo ilikuwa minimum ya kufanya minimum basic services.
Katika wakati huu, wakati finance bill ilisambaratika, ile division of revenue ilikuwa imetengenezwa na serikali ya kusema county governments ipate 400 billion. Saa imerudishwa na national government, wakasema tutoke 400 billion turudi chini tupate 380 billion. Nataka kusema kwamba mwaka uliopita county zote pamoja za Kenya zilikuwa zimepewa 385 billion. Kusema turudi 380, hiyo ni kurudi chini na bilioni 5. Hiyo wakati tulikuwa tumepewa 385 billion, kuna kazi mpya ambayo county zilikuwa zimepewa saa hii. Ya kwanza, hii kodi ya Social Health Insurance Authority ambayo imesemekana kila Mkenya atalipa 27% of their salaries. Wakati wanalipa hiyo, serikali pia inatoa counter funding. NSSF pia imepanda, lazima ilipe percentage, iko juu. Mishahara mumeona juzi jana, civil servants imesemekana mishahara ingozewe. Hiyo yote wafanyikazi wa county pia watafanywa.
Now, popular actress Winnie Ndubi Bwire has passed on. Her death was announced by the family on Thursday morning. The actress succumbed as she underwent cancer treatment in Turkey. Her death comes barely a month after she appealed for financial assistance to continue with her cancer treatment. Ndubi was seeking 5 million shillings to cover the costs of her treatment, including accommodation and meals during her stay. In her last video appealing for help, which was shared on her social media pages on August 14th, the actress explained that she was doing well with her medication until she began experiencing side effects.
So, I'm coming back to you, asking for support. Last time it went really well. The first phase of treatment went really well. The second phase ndio imekuwa na complications, but the doctors are ready and willing and on standby to rectify that. We've looked for visas, we've got them, lakini sasa finances ni challenging. Please, 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 whatever you can spare, ile kidogo uko nayo, if you can support me, I have nothing to give you in return, but you will save my life. Na sikuwa nataka ikwe clip ya machozi. I wanted it to be filled with hope, but where I'm at, I am so frustrated by how expensive healthcare is.
Well, such a disheartening end of life, and we mourn with the family and friends of the late Bwire. Now to another incident. Olympic athlete Rebecca Cheptegei has died days after being doused in petrol and set on fire by a former boyfriend. The 33-year-old Ugandan marathon runner who competed in the recent Paris Olympics had suffered extensive burns after Sunday's attack. The authorities, where Cheptegei lived and trained, said she was targeted after returning home from church with her 2 daughters. Her father, Joseph Cheptegei, said that he had lost a very supportive daughter. A report filed by a local administrator alleged the athlete and her ex-partner had been wrangling over a piece of land. Police say an investigation is underway.
Severe percentage of burns, which unfortunately led to multi-organ failure, which ultimately led to her passing this morning at 5:30 a.m. It was multi-organ failure from the burns. She had severe burns over a significant portion of her body. So the severe burns led to multi-organ failure. So we had kidney failure, we had cardiovascular failure. So most of our systems actually failed following the burns. It had already occurred by the time she was coming in. So we supported the organs as best as we could, but unfortunately it was beyond what we could do.
Kitu ninaomba zaidi, kwa sababu kufikia saa hii huyu mwanamke ameua msichana wangu, yeye ni mzazi. Nasikitika kuona kwamba sijaona kitu chochote inatendeka kufikia kwa serikali. Nikiona kwamba yeye hapo hata saa hii alikuwa tayari anaweza toroka amefanya chochote wakimbie, na mimi tayari nimepoteza mtoto ambaye nilikuwa nataka.
So I think we need to be intentional as a government and as a community in dealing with gender-based violence so that we can stop mainstreaming and making it normal that femicide is something that is normal. I think those are it's very worrying.
I also would like to call upon the president. Women in this country are facing a lot of trouble. Being killed, being tortured, even on political arenas. Those who have not built a thick skin like me cannot face men outside there because they are intimidated, they are called names. And we need protection because as women, our daughters are there and our grandchildren are also coming up. They need the protection that the government can give. And we need a space in every area of work I don't see how one can just kill a person. If you are fed up with us, just leave us alone. Walk your way. Don't kill us. Don't kill our daughters. Leave them alone. Let them live.
You know, I'm looking forward to the day in Kenya where we'll talk no much about femicide cases and gender-based violence cases. And so we also condole with the families and the family as well of, Cheptegei, who's sadly had to die in that manner. And we hope that the authorities will be able to move very fast and close this investigation and bring the perpetrators to book. Now, the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers branch of Siaya County have expressed their disappointment over the manner in which the teachers' strike was called off by the top leadership of the union. While expressing his disappointment, an official from the National Governing Council of KUPPET faulted the union officials for not following the due procedure in calling off the teachers' strike that went on for 8 days.
The teachers of Siaya responded in earnest. I do, however, want to say that we were disappointed with the manner in which the strike ended. None of us had any idea whatsoever that the strike was going to come to an end. We, as the teachers of Siaya, having had a very successful demonstration in Bondo, where we mobilized over 700 teachers, we were in the process of planning an even bigger demonstration for the people and the teachers of Siaya, so that the Teacher Service Commission and the government of Kenya could listen to us. Unfortunately, come the evening, we got it from social media and even televisions and over the radio that the strike had been called off. This came as a surprise. The teachers of Siaya, I want to say, are disappointed. At the same time, I wish to state that as National Governing Council, we had given the National Executive Board leeway to negotiate with the Teacher Service Commission with a view to ending the strike. We had even told them to explore possibilities of alternative dispute resolution. And we had given them opportunity that should they, at whatever time, even in the night, strike a deal with the Teacher Service Commission, we, the members of the National Governing Council, were ready even to attend a Zoom meeting, and if satisfied with what had been attained through discussion by the Teacher Service Commission, then we would make a decision on the strike.
President William Ruto addressed a high-level meeting on the Belt and Road Initiative that he co-chaired at the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation Summit in Beijing. The head of state commended China for its determination to strengthen cooperation with Africa through the transformative Belt and Road Initiative and the 4 global initiatives. President William Ruto says people's lives have been uplifted and led the countries towards sustainable and inclusive growth. In Kenya, the Belt and Road Initiative has significantly enhanced productivity by facilitating mobility and market access, hence expanding economic opportunities, especially for women and youth.
I take this opportunity to commend the strong vision and effective leadership through which His Excellency President Xi Jinping has made unique contributions to the strengthening of cooperation between Africa and China, particularly through the Belt and Road Initiative and the 4 global initiatives which encompass a broad range of transformative undertakings in development, security, and culture, and for the wide-ranging statement and the 10-point partnership action plan that encompasses China's support for Africa to access concessional resources and credit facilities, and for opening up China's market to those of us in the African continent. It is a measure of true friendship that our agricultural produce can access Chinese markets. Without a doubt, the impact of the programs and projects under BRI is demonstrable, significant, and positive across the African continent, from north to south and from east to west. In Kenya, for example, we have, with the support and funding of China under BRI, completed 600 kilometers of standard gauge railway. We have completed phase 1 of Lamu Port. We have also completed a modern oil terminal in the port city of Mombasa, the expressway, and we have also completed thousands of kilometers of road connecting rural to urban Kenya, farms to markets, and transporting raw materials to manufacturing industries. The relationship between China and Africa and Kenya,
Tragically, a 4-year-old boy was on Wednesday mauled by a hyena at Flat Estate in Nyashaba area of Witei, the location in Juja. This is the latest incident in the area amid calls on authorities to address the menace. Police said the body of the boy was discovered long after he had been killed and partially eaten up by the wild animal. The latest incident prompted angry locals to stage a protest on Thursday, blocking the busy Thika highway for hours. They demanded action to address the menace, and the residents vowed to eliminate all hyenas in the area.
As KWS, we have heard the cry of the people of Nyasava, Flat, and the whole of Juja area with regard to the hyena menace. They have made their cry loud enough, and we are going to take every possible measure to ensure that this problem is sorted out. And we will want to request members of the public to give us time, not to take the law into their own hands. They have been hurt, and let them give us time to address.
Medical laboratory officers have lamented over the lack of proper gear for medical professionals to safely deal with the emerging monkeypox disease. The medical professionals have faulted the government over negligence as other sector unions go for training on how to handle, deal and manage the mpox disease, in which Kenya has recorded 4 cases as of Monday. At the same time, they also called on county governments to pay off salaries and allowances owed.
Union makes us strong.
We have mpox with us. We are looking at laboratory all the time. We can get infected, but we are not considered. Everyone else goes to the trainings. You find that when all goes bad, they come back to the laboratory. We are testing all the time, but you find that we are not considered.
Tunataka governor asikie, achue watu wake hawana furaha. Tunaumia in this county. Kama umefanya kazi, we are not here requesting, we are demanding. We've worked for our salaries. Na tunahitaji tulipwe pesa yetu. Hisi ati tunapembereza, we can't work. Arafu tunachukuliwa just for granted.
Somebody now is being employed on contract in that they are employed because apparently with permanent and pensionable we will go on strike. That is the fear of our administration, and it's very demeaning.
Let's get sporty. Kenya will take on Zimbabwe in their opening 2025 Africa Cup of Nations AFCON qualification Group J match at Mandela National Stadium in Uganda on Friday at 4 p.m. East African time. The Harambee Stars secured a 2-0 victory over Zimbabwe in their last match, which was in the 2024 COSAFA Cup Group B encounter played in South Africa on 2nd July. As a result, Kenya have won 2 of their last 3 matches across all competitions, while the other game ended in a defeat to Comoros. Meanwhile, Zimbabwe have been inactive since they lost to Kenya, and they will be seeking revenge when they take on the Harambee Stars in Kampala. Well, we wish the Harambee Stars all the best in that particular match, and hopefully we'll be able to record some amazing results before we can go to South Africa next week as we take on Namibia. So that is where we wrap it up tonight. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen, for all the support that has been coming in across our social media platforms. Asante sana. We see you, to the team behind the scenes making this broadcast a success. Thank you very much as well. So see you tomorrow, same time, same place. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. God bless you.